Hello everyone, this is Migo Hunter, and wow, we got a third game happening right now between picklesword and Adniel Lenal. So apparently I did miss the first game of the set. Cammy versus Jin was played, and according to picklesword, both went down to wall swing versus wall swing, and I think yeah, and Jin took it. So Jin beat Cammy game one, came down to 1 HP versus 3 HP, wall swing versus wall swing. So pretty crazy. Too bad I did not catch that. But now we get to catch the second match, which is New versus Treasure Knight. Picklesword being a Treasure Knight main. What? His deck disappeared. Okay, well, that is fine. Apparently they resets. So Picklesword now correcting his mistake. Okay, so this is game two. Adniel Lenal take the first one with Jin versus Cammy. And now Picklesword, since he lost the last game, elects to go first this time. Mulligan's three cards. And Adniel Lenal, let's see what he does. So New versus Treasure Knight. Certainly a very interesting matchup. Let me sit as one of the colors. Um, New zoning may be a problem for Treasure Knight because he's mainly a brawler, but Treasure Knight does have range options. Unfortunately, they are both slow fireballs, so New could potentially play fast ranged options to disrupt his fireballs and make life harder for him. We'll see though. If Treasure Knight can close the gap and just brawl with New and exceed as quick as he can, I think Treasure Knight can do it. But New can be very evasive and annoying. Turn one, Picklesword preps. We might see the classic um, range for grasp. We'll see. Treasure Knight generates one force for free during strikes, so blocks are extra good on Treasure Knight. That basically mean plus four. That basically mean four armor. And when Treasure Knight exceeds, um, he generates one force for free at any point in the game. So yeah, very good exceed. Definitely needs it because his base UA, while decent, is underwhelming because all Treasure Knight's boosts cost one force. So he wants to exceed and make all his boosts cost zero force. It's that simple, really. Does he spend for the extra range? If he does not, okay, he does. Spends a block for force to gain plus 2 to 4 range. Could be a grasp. Grasp would be the very safe option because um, she could even make Treasure Knight with all his fireballs. Well, actually, Treasure Coin can hit, but Treasure Coin requires gauge expenditure. Oh, Anchor Launch, nice. So New does not have did not play a grasp, so um, Treasure Knight is able to hit back with Anchor Launch. A bit of a risky Anchor Launch just because the Tread of Grass can make this whiff entirely. But Picklesword was willing to take the risk. And yes, I had to be reminded of this too. He does not have to spend for force to play four specials. So now this is actually very high value for Picklesword. Gets rid of Assault. Actually a decent card to rip out from New's hand so that she cannot retreat. Why are the cards disappearing? Picklesword, chill. You gotta stop deleting your own cards. Surely you don't want to throw that badly. There we go. Alright, he's under control. Everything is under control. Cross should go to Gage. Oh, now Treasure Knight is at range 2, which is perfect. Range 2, and New is down a cross. Unless New is a second cross, this strike is very likely to hit. Yeah, that was such an important win for Treasure Knight, you don't even know. Because a 6 life swing, plus card discard, plus moving New to range 2, he really needed that win. Oof, Wall Swung Sword Summoner. It's not going to pan out. Unfortunately, Sword Summoner misses. Because if you don't boost range on it, Sword Summoner kind of sucks. Not kind of sucks. It definitely sucks if you don't boost range on it. These Wall Swings can be pretty awkward. But that's the weakness of her character. I think New should probably prepare here. She's lost a lot of HP, but I think needs cards more than ever. Nope, boost alter space. You may push or pull one. That's a pretty alright boost as well. Adniel Lenal should be looking to gain some resources here, or at least win enough strikes to be able to exceed and make everything hit from any range. Picklesword's doing very well for himself. Already 2 gauge, just needs one more to exceed. Goes ahead and preps. Oh, are we really seeing a focus here? What's he gonna call? Perhaps calling a block into a spike? That's certainly something that can be played. Okay, thanks, Pickle. So he goes ahead and reads sweep. Unsuccessful. Block would have definitely been something that he could have read as well. I do like, because Treasure Knight values block so much, I think reading block against Treasure Knight is just generally a good idea. But now with that info, knowing that New is reading a slow, um, plays EX Dive Charge. Indeed, enough to stop the spike. Dive Charge, on. Surprised he didn't get any hand info. I mean, maybe Adniel Lenal just has good memory and doesn't have to do stuff like memorize his hand. Fortunately, puts New at range 4 actually doesn't matter. Well, if you saw his hand earlier, actually I missed what was in his hand. I think it was Shovel Knight cards. I had no idea what's what. But I mean, because it's hard to determine from a distance from Shovel Knight cards. If it's a normal, if it's a special, great art on Shovel Knight cards, but man, is it hard to identify what they are. Super Rage. Fortunately, will miss, and the Treasure Knight will hit with Treasure Coin. Can spend a Retreat Force for extra range and power. And playing the EX version of Treasure Coin pays for itself. Oh, he can retreat one to make him pay for more force. But Treasure Coin will still be able to hit. Right, I forgot about the retreat one. The Treasure Knight can hit from range 5 with Treasure Coin. Generates one force for free, and yeah, one force for free and two more to be able to hit at range 5. Gains Treasure Coin back. Yeah, this is an extremely good strike for him. Dive charge, set EX dive charge to EX Treasure Coin just sets each other up so perfectly. Really good game for picklesword right now. Wow, 29 HP versus 8. This is complete domination. You go ahead and prepares. Exceeds ASAP. I think it makes sense. Take advantage of the pull, and now Judge Knight becomes a very real character. Can spend force whenever he likes. Prep, prep. Adniel Lenal will need some very good zoning in order to come back. Alter space. What's Adniel Lenal's team? Now I gotta check. Let me check the roster for both players. Adniel Lenal has Jin, Hakumen, New 13. Okay, Blaze Blue team. And Pickle Sword has Treasure Knight, Carl Clover, Cammy. Okay, cool. Strike, strike. Okay, I think, okay, Pickle Sword, it just initiated a block, essentially just to get rid of that boost. Just, poor man's kind of, not really poor man. Yeah, I guess it is. No, poor man's take is the wall swing. But, he just played block from hand just to basically diffuse the +1 speed. And get some gauge while he's at it. New decides to push him one. Gets a card from focus. Now it is New's turn. New can still technically come back from this, to be honest. Treasure Knight is missing all of his range options except for Anchor Launch. One copy of Anchor Launch is still in deck somewhere. So if New can zone him out and continue to zone him out with Overdrive, don't know, we'll see. Comeback could be in the works. Just don't get hit. It's easy. Mm, okay, let me title my video: Chica versus Andy Man. Andy Man numbers 119. All right, publish video. Great. I've caught so many games today. It's insane. All right, news spends, okay, 3 force to retreat 3. China can still anchor launch from here. He is boosting speed. That means anchor launch is coming? Question mark. 4 speed anchor launch could be in the future. Anchor launch will be very devastating here because it's 6 damage, rips a card, and pulls Nu back into close range, something she does not want. It might be worth, I don't know what's Nu's hand, but if she has a parry, just parrying anchor launch may be a good idea. You know, that does get rid of her second block. Tough decisions to be made next seat, for sure. Or perhaps she has a way to stop anchor launch with one of her attacks. Does she have a way? She did spend 2 Sickle Storms. Super range may be a thing. Long range, super range. Super rage, I mean. Not range, super rage. Sword Dance. Maybe enough to stun anchor launch. Anchor launch is 2 armor, but needs to spend a lot of force in order to stun with Sword Dance. Spike Chaser is probably not going to cut it. Now picklesword has to think. Is the EX that he's threatening going to beat my anchor launch? I think there's a few things she could play. Maybe gives her minimum plus 3 to 4 range, so it cannot be dive, EX dive. EX assault, maybe. Does feel weird though. EX assault is not going to stop anchor launch. And she can hit, importantly, she can hit from, grass can hit from here. So you cannot displace, Nu cannot displace Treasure Knight with grasp to make anchor launch miss. He just goes ahead and plays it. Okay, see what you got. It is the sword stance. So this is 4 power. Does he have 4 force to stun him? It's gonna need. Oh right, he gets it before draw 2. Yeah, he'll have enough force. Okay, good choice. He'll have enough force to stun anchor launch, even though it's gonna be expensive. Wow. Speaking of force, okay, nice. He did. Adniel Lenal did the math there for sure. There's 8 damage sword dance, stunning ankle launch, and dealing 6. Wow. Nicely played. Expensive turn, but worth it to not die to ankle launch. Maybe we've got a game yet. Treasure Knight, however, can close the distance by generating free force. Now that his range options are down, for sure Treasure Knight has to close in somehow. Okay, generates a force for free, moves 4, spends an ultra, moves to a range that Nu will not be able to deal with very well. Range 2. Now that Nu's blew a lot of force, blew a lot of options. It's gonna be hard pressed to survive here. What's going on? Okay, he's just discarding it. Okay. He's gonna change cards. Okay. First I thought he was gonna put in deck. I was like, you can do that? You can spend gauge and play one from hand to put cards in the deck? That's weird. But no, it's just a change cards. It makes sense. He needs to get good options for her. However, um, it is she only was one gauge away from overdriving, and overdriving may be the key to winning. Let's see if it comes back to bite him. Boost speed, turn I boost power. With this speed, maybe he can play a spike, potentially. Play a spike and negate Treasure Knight's chances to trade back with +2 power. Okay, just simply choose to detect the sweep. Now he doesn't have to worry about spike as much. Hmm. What will it be? Ah, air dash. A wise choice to get out of the corner. Now we check whether Nu has any crosses left. She has one. So crossing out is definitely an option for her. Continues to prepare. Interesting. Spend spike to move to range 3. Striking immediately. Could be the on-curve assault. Nu does have some defensive stuff. Out of super rages. Well, not super rage. What was the other card? Yeah, super rage, my bad. Super rage is sort of a cross-like. Unfortunately, plays EX dive and defense does not pay out. We'll get hit for 5. Gain this gains advantage. And this is looking like a wrap. If Treasure Knight plays a grasp here. Actually, no, grasp her down. But, you know, any sweep like will be dangerous here. Force Nu to cross out or die. Okay. Plays this boost for free and boosts High Tide. He spent 2 force to push 1. This before effect is actually very good. Allows him to set up an angler call. Basically making angler call range 1 to 4. Angler call may be the thing that picklesword is playing for to close out the game. Aerial backflip. It's not gonna be enough range to stop. It's not gonna be enough range for Adniel to strike. Just creating some distance, but it may not matter. And he only has 7 cards left. Because we're really wondering, you can really narrow down what options he has left. Cross is still up, and a few things are available. Okay, a focus. We have a reading grasp, and striking. At range 3, grasp will not be able to hit, even with new spends force. Yep, and spike seals the deal. GG. That was pretty clinical Treasure Knight play. Had some really strong EXs that game that made a very big difference. EX dive charge followed by EX treasure coin, and hitting both anchor launches definitely helps. Let's just say anchor launch is a big part of Treasure Knight's power. So yeah, game 2 goes to picklesword, and now we're down to the final game. Picklesword has Cammy and Carl Clover to choose from. I love both of those characters actually. They're both really fun. Cammy was like one of my characters I consider mating, and Carl I used to main, but Carl sucks. Um, and Adniel Lenal has a choice between Hakumen or New again. I predicted Pixel will probably pick Cammy just because Carl versus New is going to be incredible suffering. Um, but we'll see. New has too much range, too much speed, too much mobility to really be able to stop. For Carl to be able to pin down. Um, but there's a chance Adniel may pick Hakumen here. And Carl does alright against Hakumen because Hakumen's a heavyweight, and Carl can pin him down and trend some really powerful strikes. But I think Cammy will be the safe choice here against Adniel's remaining 2 characters. Let's see what the contestants pick.
Cross, but
Yeah, Ragnar did because Ward has selected his character. The way they're doing it is just to delete characters until there's one left in hand, and that'll be the character they play with for the final game. Adniel's having a hard time choosing. I don't blame him. This is a very important decision to make. We may see Hakumen just because of how badly New got beaten. And if Picklesword has the hard read Hakumen, he may play Carl. Mind games. Hakumen. There we go. And a Cammy, which is the safe pick. Cammy versus Hakumen. I would say can be an even matchup. Cammy has ways to duck out of Hakumen's range, come back in, hop in and out. Dive kick helps to dodge Hakumen's attacks. CQC. Cannonball even. Cannonball critical even is a good attack against Hakumen, specifically because he's so slow. But at the same time, Hakumen just gains a lot of resources and has 1 to 6 range ultra. So Cammy, actually, yeah, Shippu is not even. This might actually be a good matchup for Cammy. The more I think about it, the more Cammy can dodge stuff and just not be able not be able to have Hakumen hit from range. We'll see though how it plays out. I am favoring Cammy a little bit here. CQC is the ultimate um, counter to Akamet's because the fear Akamet's is no longer gone because it only hits at range 1, and CQC prevents any attacks from hitting at range 1. And the boost acrobatics as well. That's an amazing boost. Yet Cammy's movement and just mobility, I think, can be hard for Hakumen to deal with. So as much as I think Carl versus Hakumen is a decent matchup, um, Cammy versus Hakumen might be even decenter matchup for Cammy. All right, Adniel Lenal takes turn 1. The classic turn 1 for Hakumen is to just simply prep and gain free gauge. The boosting is also definitely something to consider. Hakumen has nothing at range 4 except for Guren and Shippu with gauge. And Yukikaze, I guess, if you expect your opponent to hit you. Yep, just preps, uses his UA, loses a Guren, which is maybe something he doesn't want. But hey, it just makes the second Guren that much better. Okay, discards, spends one force to move to range 3. Range 3, Cammy can threaten dive kick, threaten quite a few stuff. And of course you got the mix up. You got the normal triangle of assault, spike, dive, even sweep. Talk about initiating. This implies an assault, probably. Yep. Usually if Hakumen initiates, it's usually expected to be an assault. Usually. Just because Hakumen can take another turn and gain gauge. So playing assault just gives him like double the gauge. Picklesword did make a good read there. Playing focus at range 3. Just expecting. He just expected the assault. Hakumen striking again. Maybe playing the grass to reposition Cammy. Maybe crossing out. We'll see. Or maybe just playing good old sweep. I'm a big fan of aggressive Hakumen, just for the cool factor. Ooh, EX defense, EX on defense. Oh, okay. Nice. EX dive. Cammy. Dives are very good on Cammy. Allows her to not only dodge, but also hit back. In this case, stuns Yanagi, which may be a good thing for stunning Yanagi may be a good thing for Cammy, just because I mean maybe a good thing for Hakumen, just because he doesn't have to spend a gauge for the before. Good choice playing range 1 dive there. You don't want to eat Santetsu. Very aggressive game right now. Picklesword immediately initiating with a strike. We know dives are no longer an option. So this could be dive kick, assault, spike, maybe even weird stuff like cannonball or razor's edge slicer, or spiral arrow. Cammy is good at just hitting stuff from any range, almost any range. Oh, okay, he did critical that attack. That's important to know. So this is probably a spiral arrow or a cannonball. Oof, the Renka does not pay off. Was that critical spike? That's pretty spicy. Yeah, if that was a crit spike, that's spicy. Now it's a spiral arrow. Spiral arrow is, I think, one of the best specials in the game. It's just so versatile. When critical, at least, and allows you to basically, this almost always just hits. And of course, having one armor and four guard, that's just enough to basically tank everything and hit back. Amazing special. Falcon gains advantage, but he's down so much life. It's really not a good spot for him here. Oh my, is he striking again? Not making much use of his UA. Perhaps it is the second copy of Gurren. Then again, Cammy only has two cards left. If he has a hard read in Gurren, maybe he can play Razor's Edge or even Gyro Drive. However, if it is a dive, he's going to regret it. Okay, it is a Gurren. And Focus, just deals with dive or Gurren very well because he closes in. Only takes one damage too. Both focuses doing work. Actually, yeah, he can just close one and not get hit by focus. Never mind. At first I thought it was a mandatory close too. Okay, Hakuman has expended all his advantage cards. So I think it's wise to just prep and gain gauge. Yep. Gain your resources back. Your hand is small, and you need as many tools as you can to come back. Yukikaze, Shippu, any way he can get big damage, life swings. Cammy has to prepare as well to reload. It's crazy to see Hakuman being at 10 HP and only still having like 20 cards left in deck. Cammy did a lot of damage in the early game. We'll see if Adniel can make up for it. Okay, I think this is the only tournament match going on right now. And at one point I saw like 4 Exceed rooms. Pretty dope. Okay, both sides just prepping. Cammy needs the resources to close out the game, and Hakuman needs the resources to make a comeback and gain gauge in the meanwhile. Focus landing and gauge is rough though. Focus is definitely one of the best, if not the best, normal in the game. Just for reading and also as an attack, it's amazing. Okay, Kishu, close to and strike. Very aggressive turn. Now he's threatening Shippu, second copy is Zantetsu. Even Grasp can be a thing. It's got a little bit of mix up here. Cammy may choose to defensive grasp to beat Shippu dealing 4 damage, 8 damage. Critical. Another spiral arrow. Spiral is pretty safe. Indeed, it is a spiral arrow. Advances 4 and deals 5. But the Yanagi does has enough guard to tank spiral arrow and hit Cammy back, so that's something. I'm not sure I agree with his usage with his gauge expenditure because um, having a focus Huckman when Huckman flips in overdrive, he may want to focus back just for reading or just for a good normal. Hits back for 4, closes in. But still, the trade does still favor picklesword. And Huckman's only at 5 HP. It's not good. Oh, okay. Okay, so he did do crit spike early from mind games. That's cool. Picklesword prepping again. The strike. Could be a cross, could be a Zentetsu. Okay, Cammy plays a cross of her own. Ooh, Enma. Okay. Enma will beat the cross. Picklesword, I think, playing cross just to avoid eating the full damage of Shippu. But Enma will be faster than cross and stun him. While Cammy's striking melee and critting. The only crit that matters here is ignore guard. Okay, Yukikaze is definitely the safe choice to play. Okay, I like the crit grass though, because just to bait out something fast to beat range 1 cannonball. Hakumen does advance into the corner, but hits back for 6. he's probably wondering how the interaction works. Yukikaze, sometimes easy to forget that on hit, you advance past the opponent. And it's pretty important. Pickle Sword wanted to put him in the corner, so pushed him inside. Okay, prepping. Does lose a Shippu. With 2 HP and only 3 gauge, um, Cammy doesn't have to worry about um, another Yukikaze. Striking from range 4, EX critical. Okay, so this is probably EX Cannonball. And I think he has no choice but to block it if he has a block. Okay, diffuses the threat. Unfortunately, he does gain advantage, so blocking is only a temporary reprieve. 6 damage, can spend 2 force to negate it. He does have force engage that he may choose to consider. But maybe he needs the 4 gauge. Okay, he spends it from gauge. 2 gauge is enough to okay, Cammy gets advantage. And then he used advantage to prep. Okay. Takuman continues to prep, gains gauge. Now his 4 gauge can play the second Yukikaze if he has it, or block. Ooh, dive kick. Very nice choice. So dive kick will come in a hit, and not yeah, dive will come in a hit, not KO Hakumen, but Hakumen cannot hit back for 6. I did mention dive kick being very important in this matchup, and it definitely comes to play here. Not having to worry about Yukikaze or Shippu, very nice. Now Hakumen may be just out of luck. No card, only 4 cards in hand, 1 HP, no gauge. I mean, what can he do here? Maybe boost speed, try not get hit, maybe cross out, bide some turns. Okay, looks like he's choosing to reshuffle. Not to play Akumet's, but just to get the burst. Maybe too little too late though. Okay, and Magus Gauge at a turn. I like the Pickle Swords critting aggressively. Usually I don't see Cammy's crit aggressive like that, but Pickle Swords doing it for some cheeky mix-ups. Wait, okay. Good thing for Cammy prepping. Hawkman gets the burst. Get a second lease on life, perhaps. What can he do here? He may have to just maybe consider playing cross here. But Cammy, I think that Cammy has so many ways to close in. That's scary. Maybe just boost, play blocks, buy time. Buy time to get 4 gauge, try and Yukikaze again. It does feel like the only way to come back is just have Yukikaze. Okay, choose to prep. It has to discard for end of turn. Ooh, discards a Shipu. Interesting. But I guess yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense. Shipu's not gonna help him. At what HP, Shipu's not gonna help him at all. Hakumen still can make a comeback. Just need to block twice, and then you could Kaze, and then figure out how to do 4 HP's worth of damage. Okay, Pickle Sword chooses to reshuffle. Wants to make sure to have the options to close this game out. Okay, boost Tsubaki to gain a lot of power. This actually this actually makes EX Grasp a threat. EX Grasp defense can reach 7 damage. Not bad at all. Keep in mind, if he does choose to boost an additional Tsubaki, he will have to pay for each one separately. So it's not like Tree Gauge will give you 6 power. That would be absurd. Okay, this may be the start of a comeback here. Boost speed. Does mill the last card. So now Adniel Lenal's hand is known. It's all known information. Should he choose to show his hand? Wait. Oh, actually, no. I think, yeah, he reshuffled. Never mind. I'm silly. Why am I seeing a card here? What the heck? Where did the deck go? Okay, the deck disappeared. Something happened. Something mysterious happened, and Hakumen's deck disappeared. Let's wait till the room reshuffles. Okay, there we go. There's his deck. Yep, gauge. Okay. All right. So now back to our game. +2 speed before spend 3 gauge for +1 power. This is actually winnable for Hakumen. Kami may have given Hakumen too many turns to make a comeback here. Now Hakumen can maybe play defensive cross for a lot of damage. We'll see. Something fast enough basically to be able to stun or avoid Kami's attack. Let's see it. Okay. Yep, that's the EX cross. Okay, maybe the EX cross is a bit overkill. Unfortunately, the EX cross may be a bit overkill. Because one cross itself is 8 speed. Unless he really wanted extra power. I think EX cross was a bit too much. think he elects not to spend gauge for power. Spends one force to take no damage. Retreats 3. Hawkman prepares. Don't drag your whole deck. And don't delete either. That would be bad. Oh. Loses a block. It's not ideal. But still, Hawkman is making a comeback. Boost +2 speed. Adniel, it's good the Adniel reshuffle because now 2 Yukikazes are on the board still. And that's enough to, 2 Yukikazes are enough to kill. 2 of them at least. Maybe look to boost here. Preparing. I don't dislike preparing either, just to really get the options he wants. He is forced to discard down, but he's really looking for Yukikaze, blocks, just ways to basically, hey, he's 1 gauge away from exceeding. He might actually just play, he may just overdrive and play Yukikazes for free. You know, I thought this game was lost for Hakumen, but suddenly it's become a lot more winnable. Does discard a focus. Maybe worth to keep the focus around for the reading, but don't know. At the same time, focus can be a target for reading itself because such a popular normal to keep. +2 speed here. Cammy has abundant range for options after she may even try and play something to bait out Yukikaze. That's certainly a thing that he can do as well. So does I initiate block or just any attack that whiffs? Okay, moves to range 7. Range 7 forcing Hakumen to close in, but Hakumen is not going to deck himself out if he overdrives. And of course, if Kami's trending Gyro Drive Smasher, um, he could just Yukikaze through it. Picklesword may regret not finishing off Hakumen earlier, before Hakumen built up all his resources back again. Wow, prep some more. Discarding a focus. He does not value reading. You know, I feel like he should. Okay. Only 7 cards left in deck, but not a problem. Hakumen can prevent himself from decking out. Luckily, Akamatsu is not a thing to worry about anymore. think it's a good time to overdrive here, maybe. Or actually, he should probably close in first before overdriving. Close some distance so you can trend some stuff, and then overdrive. Because if you overdrive at range 7, then you're just telegraphing Yukikaze. It's the only thing that you can hit with. Okay, spend Zantetsu for 1 force. Has to overdrive soon. Overdrive is coming, or else you'll deck out. Okay, because we're striking. Threatening to hit with something. Is it Gyro Drive Smasher? Or is it a Bates? I think Cockman still has 1 block. So he can leverage, he can hedge against it being a Bates by just playing block. Okay, yep, just chooses to move in. He gains gauge with block. And now I think Cammy's in range 30. Time to overdrive. Just overdrive, do it. You gotta, or he might like to boost something first before he overdrives. He's got a few turns left. Yeah, this is a surprisingly intense game. I think Cammy maybe gave, I wouldn't say maybe, I think Cammy definitely gave Hakuman too much time to bounce back. Oh my, Hakuman's initiating? With what? Yukikaze? Double Yukikaze for the win? Both assaults are down, so there's not an option. Could be Gurin. Could even be a ballsy spike. What's picklesword's read here? Just be careful. Wall swings. Crits. It's a dive. Oh, you could choose to, not yet. Yeah, of course you could choose to invalidate this. Oh, I see. He can spend 3 gauge. This is actually really funny. If he spends 3 gauge to validate CQC, um, both both characters won't hit. Picklesword is the dick though. Maybe Picklesword could get dive kick or an assault just to close out the game here. It is a risk. He may be happy just validating CQC to not get hit. Given the circumstances, maybe worth it to validate. Hawkman at only 1 HP. You don't really need to gauge, do you? Picklesword is sticky hard about this. Okay. Oh no. Doesn't chooses to hold on to his gauge, but get hits for 5 with a dive. Now Hawkman is very menacing here. with two Yukikazes, plenty of gauge. Wow, suddenly this game is looking very losable for Cammy. Picklesword is searching through his discard. Maybe he's looking for one last YOLO reading. You know what? Suddenly discarding the focuses makes sense now. Just because you want to limit the amount of normals. You want to limit the amount of normals you have to be susceptible to reading. Because reading is how you lose. Reading is how you lose this game. If one gets successful reading, it's game over. So maybe discarding focuses from hand was the way to go, actually. Okay, good. Yes, just boost that. If you're worried about, well, yeah, that's just strictly correct to boost this. Given the current situation, you don't want to get hit at all. I think playing CQC itself, I think might just be a waste of tree gauge if Aquaman just plays Yukikaze in response. Okay, Aquaman, I think he's deciding overdrive right now, but he has to decide what to put in his overdrive gate meter. Okay, he's gotta choose, I think, two cards from there. Technically, he was not supposed to draw end of turn. He was not supposed, yeah, technically he's not supposed to draw end of turn, but it's fine. Now everything is free for Aquaman, so he can play Yukazes at will. I think striking here just to make him burn a Yukikaze is prudent, but then you do have to worry about the second one. This game is lasting a lot longer than I thought. I thought it was over, but you should not count out Hakumen's comeback potential. Now I know. Sort of interesting too that Adniel decided to keep a bunch of normals in his overdrive. Okay, here comes the reading. The reading's fine here, especially because if he's not successful, he does have this for backup, the acrobatics to prevent himself from dying. Looks like the reading is not successful. Ah, okay. Sweep makes sense. Both sweeps are available. Oh, maybe but I think, I think Hakuman did play. Okay, yep. Hakuman did play at least one sweep before the reshuffle. I think he discarded it from end of turn draw. So Yukaze is free, misses, does not hit, so he doesn't advance two. And Hakuman's getting too big. He's been clicked on too much. Because there's an Easter egg, you guys don't know that Hakuman grows the more you click on him. Well, great. I got a comment on my video and it's a spam comment. Doesn't even show up. Weird. YouTube has a bot problem. Both players a bit shaky on how Hakuman operates. Because we are missing some details here with his overdrive. Yeah, because that's why I think it's really weird to leave Enma and Yanagi engaged, just because, especially Enma, because Enma's a fast option for Hakuman. Hakuman doesn't get enough fast options. And of course, Hakuman makes all of his gauge attacks free, so he tends to prioritize putting gauge attacks, putting his specials in his overdrive, rather than just normal attacks. Some normal attacks are kind of valuable though, especially in this situation, like block. Come on, you bastards. Strike already. Do it. Be brave. Initiate Yukaze just because you can. What's he doing? Is this a change cards action? Oh, be careful with your discard, please. Okay, good. Okay. He drew one too many. I think he drew one too many. Yeah, just take the card that don't show it. Don't show it. Just take the card. Ooh. It's okay. And then just shuffle it. There we go. This game is kind of involves a lot of player trust, but we can trust I think we can trust the competitive integrity of these players. But that being said, there's a lot of fiddling around and potential mishaps that are happening here. Okay, Pickle Sword changes cards, probably looking for blocks. His second copy of block, rather. Now Hakumen has to trigger his overdrive, discard one, return one to hand. I think he knows. Yeah. What will he return to hand? Let's see. Block? Gruen? Cross, maybe? Get a corner? There's multiple options you could choose. Oh dear. I just realized there's... Yeah. Um, Unfortunately, I thought it was 8, but one card was underneath another. So it was 9 cards in overdrive. Okay. And he returns block to hand. So he got 2 blocks now. Adniel here could play as Zantetsu to close out the game if he has a hard read on Picklesword looking for his block. But we'll see. Hakumen has a legitimate mix-up here when he has an Ultra that doesn't stop him from dying. Looks like he's parrying something. Parry unsuccessful. Draws for end of turn. Has to discard down. I wonder what the parry was. I can only guess is maybe something, I don't know, a grasp. Look, man, I'm getting tired. Just recording these games for posterity. I'm running out of steam. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Don't forget the rules, man. It's very important. I would say Adniel has to discard down to 7 before Picklesword does. Because his turn happened before Picklesword's. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Discard Zantetsu. I don't know about that. Now he chooses to discard Grasp. Okay. I think Cammy CC'd away her normals, probably. Getting rid of Zantetsu. Both Zantetsus. So he no longer has the mix-up option, making block 100% safe here. I don't know. You should at least keep Zantetsu for the threat of it. I think he brought back Cross or something. Discards Assault. Okay, play Tsubaki for more power. And a turn draw. Remember to discard down. Please remember to hand limit if you do not strike. This is kind of an odd game. I think Hakum is not taking enough initiative in his overdrive. His overdrive's about to run out, and then he's going to deck out. It's actually looking really bad for Hakumen now. Wait, did Cammy reshuffle? Did Cammy reshuffle this game? Now I gotta ask. I assume yes. Okay, so now both parties are close to decking out. Because Hakumen is gonna run out of his overdrive, and he's not gonna get enough gauge for him to get a second one. Hakumen already used reshuffle. Cammy already used reshuffle. So all around, just an awkward time. Picklesword's down both focuses, so unfortunately cannot exploit Hakumen's no normals. Okay, Hugin combination. Retreats up the tree and strikes. Retreats 2. Probably playing the dive kick. Hakumen may just play the free Yukikaze or a block. What will it be? Actually, Hakumen even has to cross. Actually, you probably don't want to cross out in this situation. Never mind. Doesn't seem like a good idea. What specials does Cammy have? I think she has one copy of each of her specials. And she has one Gyro Drive Smasher. Actually, this is her second copy. Oh, plays the dive kick. What is this the EX version of? EX sweep. That won't do. That's not enough. One armor is not enough to survive when you only have 1 HP. Hakumen had blocks and Yukikaze. I think he had to play either one of them. Dive kick was pretty telegraphed there just because it's so safe. Very strange choice to play sweep. I think strictly, I mean, it is strictly a misplay because at 1 HP, you're not going to take anything. Um, Strange. But, sometimes in tournaments, sometimes in high pressure games, you do make mistakes like this. EX sweep was definitely not a way to go. Unless you're specifically looking for Picklesword's EX sweep. I mean, okay, yeah. Okay, the only explanation, okay, I kind of get it. But then at this point, why not just play Yukikaze? Oh, Yukikaze, he didn't have Yukikaze. Was it? Yukikaze not in hand? Oh, okay. Um, oh, okay. Where did his blocks go? Did he use both for parry? Okay, well, I lost track. My bad. One copy of block went down a long time ago. So his options there basically was just to cross out, or EX Shipu is not a bad idea because it's free and you get tree armor. So allows you to survive. So that was definitely something he could have played. Um, and so does cross if he doesn't choose not to cross out. Okay, okay. I was wrong. That kid does 4 instead of 3. Wow, that's actually a really good special. Why is this just a better muzzle flitter? Man, man. Cammy gets some good stuff. But yeah, Yukikaze, I think, still being in deck is unfortunate, for sure. Probably should have just crossed out if he didn't have the Yukikaze. Oof, unfortunate. I think if he had second Yukikaze, the game would be a lot easier. But he should have probably also saved his blocks as well, just to not die, because it's still 1 HP. Anyway, enough of my rambling. Thanks for watching, everyone.